All right. What's up, YouTube? Third video in the series that I'm doing. It's not really a series. It's more like just, I guess, blogging. I want to talk about the warrior mindset, which is, I was just listening on my jog to a David Goggins podcast, and it's really interesting. Like, this guy's the strongest man on earth, or the most hard man on earth, and it's crazy. Like, the stuff that he's done is beyond me, unsurmountable. But that's the wrong thinking. See, that's the thing. And it pushed me through my jog. To be honest, I hit 1 mile, and I was just thinking, like, man, is this worth it? Like, is this worth it? And that's you got to just push yourself past that, and that's what the warrior mindset is. And he was talking about this thing that some people are just warriors. They were raised warriors, born warriors, because they were in the right place at the right time, in the right juxtaposition to be compared to another factor, which is just life in general. Really interesting. It's crazy, the things, like the untapped potential that every human being has. It's beyond me. I don't know. I don't really understand it sometimes. Because it's there, and it's there. It's just your unconscious, the id, as Freud would call it. But then the super ego, which could be society, just comes in and crushes it. It just destroys it. And that's what you want to get away from. And that's why I think it's really important to have the warrior mindset within yourself. I don't know. I think there's some people over there. I think that my roommate's got some guests over. Some of his buddies are over. I'm gonna shut this thing just so I don't feel weird. Honestly. Yeah, I think that should be cool. But I don't know. I feel like, see, I had a good childhood, pretty good. I enjoyed myself in my early years. It really wasn't until I'd say about my 10th year that I started to experience, like, just kids being kids. And I got picked on a lot. I was a little bit of a bigger kid, so I got picked on. But what's interesting is that I remember being pretty popular with the girls. I remember being able to hang around them, and I got invited to their parties, which is weird. It was a little bit weird. It was me and this other fat kid that got invited. Keep in mind, I wasn't that fat. I was chubby, but I wasn't like obese. This other kid was, though. And I don't know, I feel like there was this lever that just kept going down and down. I started up here, and I just kept going, and I want to say other kids at least, pushed me down, that I pushed the lever down. But I feel like in reality it was just me. I didn't believe in myself enough to think that I could accomplish my passions. And so I always looked to other people for confirmation and assurance. And my mom was always there. So I was used to having a very central mother figure that was always there. And she was, honestly, she was always there. In fact, they got to a point where it was a little bit too much. And I think that's where I think a lot of some of my problems really arose from, because my dad wasn't around too much when I started to really be conscious of myself, of really understanding the relationships between men and women and just how things intertwine. So I really didn't have him to guide me. You know, he came every other weekend, and he would just, you know, small talk. I think, if I remember correctly, but I don't ever remember. I don't ever remember like having like a really good, solid, constructive conversation with my dad. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just remembering things incorrectly. But there's nothing that I can really that pops up, at least in my head, from when I was younger. And I don't think I ever told him. I don't think I even, like, now. I don't think I ever told him like how I got called all these things. But you know, it's not really that. It's not really that. It's not like it was such a huge problem, but yet for some reason it manifested into very deep insecurities later in my life, like even now. It's not good. It's not good, and I still think about it sometimes. Like I was watching that video, and man, I don't know. But yeah, I guess we strayed away from the warrior talk. But I guess what I want to say is, you want to build that warrior. You know, you want to really construct, and you want to deconstruct yourself first. Tap down into every small faucet of potential that you can just turn on, and you know, just leave it on. Don't turn it back off. Just leave it on the whole time until it's out, and you know, you're out of life and you're just dying and you're dead, you know, because there's a lot of those. It's like you got your house, right, and then you gotta find the current. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but I'm gonna go with it for now. It's because whatever. So I also had this conversation with honestly, my best friend. Yeah, my bestest friend. His name is Alex, and he is in Australia right now. He is, oh geez, he is. If it weren't for him, I have no idea where I would be. I'll probably be just out. I wouldn't probably. I'll probably still be here, but I would not be here. You know, I wouldn't be doing this. I'd be out. God knows what. He's a very, very interesting person. I adore him. He's a great person. I've known him since I came to this place where I'm living at now. And wow, he captivates me because I think it's because he's a very good listener. He's a phenomenal listener. I don't think anyone could be as good as a listener as him. And he acknowledges your trains of thought, your opinions, and your faults that are sometimes arise with those, your foibles, I would say. He's a very interesting guy, and I was talking to him about where I am in life, and you know, it's not obviously human beings, we're not satisfied. It's just a strange pathway, a strange thing. And we just want to, a lot of us, at least for the most part, I would hope so, is we want to strive to do better. We want to strive to be better. But we get caught up seeing other people being who we want to be, and seeing them being really good at it, seeing them being successful at it, monetizing it, being sexualized for it, all sorts of things. And you just think like, man, like I can't do this. Like I'm not meant for this. I'm not built for this. But what I'm right now trying to put together is, at least in my life, is building that, you know, building that ideal state of being that you can that the most ideal potential you can visualize. Because if you do that every day, at all points, in every spectrum of your life, of the day, of the minute, of the second, of the hour, you will be the best being you can. The the greatest potential being you can be in that moment, at least. So that's something that I'm really trying to put together. You know, it might come from just plain out stopping drugs and stopping drinking, smoking, because I've had my share of problems of that. I've smoked a lot back in my day. I think I started smoking when I was like 15. It wasn't on a regular basis, but my then girlfriend really got me into smoking quite a bit. Man, that was so stupid. I don't understand why. Like, what the hell? What's the appeal? I don't know. And I still, you know, some days I still do it. It's not good. My roommates do it quite often, and I washed my clothes. We're moving out of this house, and I had like a big tank of clothes that I just left in this house, and they would constantly smoke cigarettes or weed or whatever. And I remember taking the clothes to my parents' house, and my mom actually called me out on this. I put on some clothes from the tub tank, either way, and I was leaving the house to go out to the bar. Mom comes up to me and she's like, "You're gonna go out like that, smelling like that? You smell awful." And I said, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about? I thought I smelled good. I just put on cologne and stuff. And I mean, I haven't worn these clothes in like a month. What are you talking about? She said, "You smell like that roommate of yours that's always smoking cigarettes." Oh my gosh, that was honestly an eye-opening experience for me, because it's really interesting how other people's presence can manifest itself upon you without you even realizing it. Like, I was carrying my roommate's smell, and I carried it around. I met some people with that smell, and it was uncomfortable, because it was that moment that she told me that, and I started to really like realize it. And then I started to I came back to the house eventually, and I smelt it. I smelt it, and it was, oh my gosh. I told myself, no, I'm not doing this. I don't want to smell like that. I don't want people to think I smell like this. Okay? I don't. It was a no-go for me. Just no, I didn't like it. I don't want to be associated with that smell. I don't want people to think that I'm a heavy smoker. You know, it just smells awful. Why? I don't understand why people smoke inside the house. It's just I don't understand it. I don't get it. Another thing I want to talk about, productive roommates. You know, I think someone's walking in here. What's up, bro?
What's up?
Hey, I'm making some videos right now. What's up, bro?
I just need these jumper cables.
Oh. Yeah,
How's
here you
it
go.
going?
Pretty good. Say hi to the camera.
I'm right there right now.
What? Yeah. You got him?
What is your video for?
YouTube. Oh,
What's up, dude?
bro, subscribe to my channel, man.
I will, dude.
Hell yeah.
Appreciate you,
Peace out, bro. Take it easy. Yeah, that was my roommate. But yeah, like I was talking about, I guess productivity would be a good one to really talk about right now. So you wanna organize things around yourself that make it easier to pave a path where you can easily access the faucets of opportunity around you, and they're clear. It's like clearing up a fog. You know, you ever be in a car and you see how it fogs up in the mirrors, and you start drawing things. It's kind of like that. You start drawing and you end up with a really cool drawing, and that could be a representation of of what of how things could be. It's great. I love doing. I like that doing that when I was younger. I do it sometimes too, but it leaves a. You know what? Even better. It leaves a smudge even after it dries out, even after there's no more rain anymore. It's a sort of a semi-permanent smudge that you will always kind of see. I mean, you could probably take it away. I've never really tried to. I've never really bothered with it, but it remains there, and it's a sort of like a stamp of a time stamp, and you remember that. You always associate that feeling with you just being bored in the car, waiting on your friend, and just for some reason finding or having the boredom to just start drawing inside your car. Oh man, I remember those days when I was a kid. Those were some great days, man. Let me tell you, great days. I remember waiting at the YMCA for my mom, and I would just be bored sometimes, and my brother and I would just start drawing. Oh, we made so many drawings on that car. Oh, fantastic, fantastic. I remember hearing a lot of Casey Elephant back in those days. Casey Elephant, great band. But yeah, productivity in your normal life and how you structure it is very important. I usually find myself being the most productive when I was already productive. Once I got the ball rolling, and it could have been something just steady. Like today, I didn't want to work out. I didn't want to do it for the third day in a row. I don't want to do it. Of course, no one wants to fucking work. Who wants to work out? Okay, that's not a very good question. Who wants to work out when you don't want to work out? I guess. I didn't want to do it. Did not want to do it. And I said, all right, screw it. Honestly, I came here to do it, but then there were people here, and then they were smoking, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll smoke a little bit. And in fact, that thing was still here. I didn't want to do it. Yet I said, fuck it. I just came here, put myself in the position, put everything in order, and told it, I'm just doing it. It doesn't matter. Does not matter. I mean, it does matter, but my neglect doesn't matter. It doesn't. Neglection is death. Like IRS taxes. Eventually they'll catch up to you. Which reminds me, I have to pay some IRS taxes still. Shit. But I'll get to it. It's in my to-do list, 100%. You gotta put yourself in that position, I feel, in order to be the most productive. So, like with homework, the whole, I think the hardest thing is putting yourself in that position. And once you do it, it's like the load has been lifted off your shoulders. Like, it's like now you're doing it. Now you're allowed to be productive. Now you're allowed to feel better. Now you're allowed to disengage with whatever negative feelings you were having before this. It's a great feeling. And I think the more you put yourself in that situation, the better you will be as a human being. The better you will help create success from within yourself and towards other people as well. So you want to constantly be doing that. Constantly be putting yourself in that position where things that are your duty is laid out in front of you. Like say you got homework, say you gotta read a book, say you gotta read a book for class, and oh man, I still gotta do that too. I gotta read a couple things. Honestly, I've been struggling in class a little bit because I've not been paying attention. I've not been doing my readings. I gotta focus on that. Instead of smoking weed or drinking and getting loaded or just being on your phone mindlessly scrolling through YouTube videos. I was watching this video about simps today. Oh my god, I don't know. It was just so cringe. The 42-year-old version Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, awful. Awful. But yeah, I was watching it. I was just wasting time that I could have been productive. I've been catching up on my readings. Doing something that will help me get that A. But yeah, no, I spent it away doing that. So yeah, I mean, lay it out in front of you. I think to me the hardest thing when it comes to doing schoolwork is taking the fucking book out of the backpack. Taking my notebook out of the backpack. Even in class. You're in class and you're just, how long can I get by without taking my notebook out? You know? It's sometimes you just gotta do it. You gotta do it. And I'm very guilty of not doing it. Not doing it for the past 10 years. Not doing it. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up. That's the video for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.